Hey chiropractic family, Dr. Derek here. I wanted to give you some tips on using a ball, something firm, something hard like a squash ball, maybe even a little harder, baseball, to work on your body, do some self-care. So the muscle tissues get tense, tight, restricted, sore, adhesions build up in these tissues. You can use something like this similar to the foam roller, which we talked about in another video. So if you haven't seen that, when you work those tissues out, you can actually help yourself tremendously to reduce some of that stress and some of that tension in the musculature. It helps aid recovery of the tissues. It helps with bringing blood supply and fluids to the area. It helps with breaking up adhesions and scar tissue, all kinds of stuff. So a lot of benefits to this self-care stuff. So just get on it, you make it a habit, you do a little bit every day, a little bit of a different part of the body, you can really start to feel quite a bit better because of those things that you're doing every single day that get you stuck in certain positions, whether it's being desk bound or say you run a lot, working on the calves, different parts of the body that need some of that work. Because if you've been going throughout most of your life, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you're not doing anything for your body, that's gonna have a huge impact. So find something firm, something hard. This is a really, really hard one. You can see that that's quite intense. A baseball. Tennis ball might be a little bit too soft. A lot of people ask about that. Golf ball is a bit too small, but that's a good hard firmness. So use one of these. First of all, you can use it just with your hands. You can find those areas of your body that need some work, and you just work those tissues. And specifically, one of the major things this is good for is going cross friction. So basically what this means is if you have long muscle belly, then you can actually go across that muscle belly, and that can really break up some of those adhesions that are in those tissues. So that's a really good tool to use to break up adhesions, to bring blood supply, fluids to the area, for tissue healing, etc. If you find a spot that's quite intense, you can hold that spot and just rest on it and basically use it as like trigger point therapy to remove blood supply to the area, which brings oxygen, and then that can actually cause the muscle to relax, because if you don't have any oxygen, the muscle can't contract. So that's a good way of using that. And you can just roll it back and forth, etc. One of the ones I like to do is on my calves. So I can show you on the calf here. Basically, you can find those areas that are tense and tight and just work through those areas in the calf. So this is a really good one to find those tough spots and just really work them back and forth if you find one of those tight, tender areas. So that's a really good one to use. For that, you can also do it down in the foot if you get any plantar fasciitis or anything like that. The feet rarely get work, so make sure you get some work into the foot. That's a really good one there. The other one is you can use your body weight. So you can find spots just like a foam roller, but it's just more intense. It's more specific on those tissues. You find those spots that are tough, you can hang out on them. Right? You can roll up and down, like so. And you can go back and forth as well. It just really helps the tissues to become much more supple, less tension, less tightness. It's a really, really great tool. You want to get along the spine, you can do that as well. So this one's really cool, especially in the rhomboids, right into the mid-back area. And you can see those areas are where we're going to get quite tense and quite tight from sitting a lot and so on. So you're basically just going to lay on it, and when you do this, then you really start to feel those tight, tense areas, and you just roll around nice and slow. Take your time, find those spots that are screaming at you, that are yelling at you, and just hang out on them, breathe into it. Roll side to side a little bit on them. Roll up and down. Find another spot. There's another one. Take a breath. Good. And you'll notice quite quickly that those tense, tight spots that are painful right when you hit them, if you relax on them, even just for a few moments, they start to relax. Good. So that's that kind of mid-back area. You can pretty much do this on any part of your body that you like. Right? You can get into the lats as well. It's just more intense. You can get up into that rear deltoid, right into there. You can roll down onto the triceps. So you can pretty much go anywhere with this ball. Good. We can get into the TFL as well. So this is pretty intense because your body weight, so you can use your hand and your elbow, but you just work those tissues. I really like the ball because it's a lot more intense. It's a lot more intense than the foam roller. which is good, but it's also much more portable. So you can literally take this anywhere. And you can find those spots, roll back and forth. Oh, that's pretty intense. So that's pretty good. The ball is a really, really great tool to use to work some of these areas. The last one, which most people will probably use it for the most, is in the buttock area, so Piriformis Syndrome, these types of things. And that's super simple. So you just get on it and you sit and you just find those spots that are tender. Again, super simple. Find those areas that are tight. Find those areas that are a bit painful. There's a spot right there that feels pretty good. And you can just hang out on that thing. And it's intense. And if you want, you can roll side to side. Side to side. Up and down. Up and down. And that's it. And that feels pretty great. All right, so you can also use the ball standing. So you can use it up against the wall, particularly mostly for the posterior part of your body, the back, the triceps, the lats, and so on. So basically, quite similar, just imagine I'm laying down, but you're up against the wall, and the more you push into it, the more the intense input you're gonna have. So here you can get a little higher up into the traps, and you can work those tissues in the upper trap area. You can go down, and again, into the rhomboids, all the way up in there. So I'm getting up on my toes a little bit here to get a lower, but you can lower the ball down a little bit as well. And get a little bit lower into those lower rhomboids, down these ribs. And you can even get into the paraspinals a little bit. So you go onto those paraspinals, up and down, and cross friction, side to side. All right, so again, you just find any spot in the body that needs some work and give it the love, give it the attention that it needs. You can even get down into that lower back. Really good in the lower back on the wall. Go side to side in the paraspinals. Go all the way down into even the SI joints, into the lower spinal musculature, piriformis, glutes, all of those tissues. You can get on the lats here, just like we were laying down, right? You can get up into the posterior deltoid. You can add a little stretch in there as well while you do it. Make sure you're breathing. Work those tissues out. You can get into the triceps here. Right. You can even go front and get into the pec here. So this is an easy way to get into the pec, pec minor, pec major. So this is a really good spot to get those tissues. So you can pretty much get anywhere in the body with this ball, which is really, really great. So that's why I love it so much. So get on it, work on it, and help yourself out. Take care. We'll see you next time.